Hey, everybody. Welcome to Office Hours. Welcome. I'd love to hear from folks that are here today, since we're talking about meetings. How many meetings are you doing in a day or in a week? I have a feeling it's, I'm just really curious. Let me know in the chat. And today I'm here with Tommy Barav, who was here as a guest almost a year ago. We did a really amazing session. I think it was, did we call it Day One Journaling? I think it was. Something like that.
It was think about reflection and
it was so good, Tommy.
Thanks.
That was an awesome session. I was really inspired to kind of clean up my own daily reflection and journaling after that. So that was amazing. Yeah, too many meetings. So Tommy has an amazing meetings workflow we're going to talk about today. And he's also, because Tommy's the founder of Supertools, he's a geeky, productivity nerd, just like the rest of us. And so he's got a couple other tools that he's using with his Notion workflow. So I'm really excited to hear a little bit more. So Tommy, I'm going to, put it over to you. I'd love to hear a little bit more about maybe your creations or kind of what's happening with Supertools and Magical as well.
Great. So as you said, my name is Tommy Barav, and I'm the founder and CEO of Magical. Magical is a collaborative calendar. We see it as the next-gen calendar that reduces the meeting chaos at work. It's specifically for busy teams, modern teams that are trying to reclaim control of their time. So we are kind of like Notion, we're consolidating a lot of time management workflows and methodologies into one product. So it's like a complementary to Notion. We believe it's like the missing piece because it's more like a calendar-based kind of tool. And we also, as a productivity trainer for the past maybe 2.5 years, in parallel of building Supertools, the community, we found out a lot of pain points in meetings and the way to optimize great sessions and great meetings with your team. So we worked with more than 250 different teams from Facebook and Google and other technology companies and multinationals, and we really understood what are the best ways and tools to optimize remote meetings at work, and every session that you do with your team. And I think the next hour we can, give some of the tools, give us some of the methodologies, and hopefully we can help someone, reduce the meeting chaos, reduce maybe reduce some Zoom fatigue. So I'm kind of ready with many tools. It's like a buffet, so I'm not sure what we're going to pick up, but hopefully we can refresh and we can let or give access to this kind of amazing tools that we can probably implement from tomorrow morning. And of course, Notion, this is probably the starting point of this workflow and the way we actually manage our knowledge in these multiple meetings. And I'm excited.
Cool. I'm excited too. If your decision maybe to sort of zoom in on meetings specifically, was that influenced by the pandemic, or were you already kind of seeing that this was a huge opportunity, or did it just kind of escalate? You're like, oh, now it's even more useful.
Absolutely. I think going to this world of remote working actually created a lot of opportunities to manage meetings, or maybe to replace some of the meetings with, other platforms for sharing knowledge in a team. So I'm a great believer that many 50% of the meetings can be reduced just by great tools like Notion, like async tools. So it's a part of it. I think going from remote work, what happened, we've seen a lot of teams actually doing more meetings, which is crazy. You might think that, the meetings, because we are not in the office, that maybe it will be less meetings, but actually because a lot of companies lost control. And it's really easy to, and it's really easy also to click the Zoom button and to invite someone to a Zoom meeting, and
just a quick one, right?
Seen this, and so we've seen this this Zoom fatigue kind of issue that we feel like by the end of the day we're tired, we don't know why, we just jumped through one meeting to another without feeling useless. And I think this is the most important thing, that how we can utilize meetings, how we can leverage them, and how we can also cherry pick and before we actually organize a meeting, every meeting, we can ask ourselves, who should we invite, and what is the main goal of this meeting, because we are collectively wasting people's time.
Yes.
And so it's really, really important to think about it, and think tools like, Notion, your calendar, and other tools can really help. So I'm here to talk about the way I actually manage my calendar system, and also about Notion, which we are currently managing the information, the knowledge of the meetings that we have in our team. So it could be I'm going to speak about individual use cases and also team use cases. So yeah, awesome. So and of course you can navigate me, like if you see something that you want to see. So I'm happy to share my entire workflow.
Amazing. Yeah, and again, if people have questions as Tommy's going through his setup, definitely use the Ask a Question area below. I'll try and keep an eye on the chat. I know Gray was asking, is there a link to the calendar app that you mentioned? I can add a call to action button on the event, so feel free to drop it in the chat, Tommy, and I'll add it to the event.
Of course, I'm going to write it down here.
Awesome.
I will make sure to put all the links and the references that I in my talk. We already seeing my screen.
Beautiful. Yes.
Great. Okay. So before that, let's talk about the problem with meetings, and then I can show some workflows and how I manage it individually, and also how do we manage it in a team? How we synthesize information from multiple places in one workspace. So Notion, it has actually the ability to synthesize both, like in the individual use case and the team kind of together with, like by leveraging databases and relationship between databases. So I'm also going to show you the relationship and what is the individual use case, and how we can transform it into the team use case. So let's start with the problem of meetings, because we all know that it's we are spamming each other calendars with a lot of useless meetings. Actually, by I think it was Doodle, the last research about meetings was said that 70% of our meetings considered to be a waste of time, considered to be useless, which is
pretty high.
and the number one reason, because they are poorly designed, right? So the number one reason, because when we plan the meeting, it's not very we're not planning it carefully. We don't put the agenda. We don't take it like the next step, or the next any effort to actually determine what is the main goal of the meeting. So once we get into the meeting, we can just talk for hours or for an hour without following up and without actually making any decision. And not talking about that, a lot of people inside of this meeting are not useful, or not useful, but they are not relevant. Or necessary. Yeah, probably a better word, and not necessary for this meeting. So, but being good at meetings, it takes effort. So the cost of productivity, I know that you are talking about all the time. Like there is like the cost of productivity, so you actually can waste a lot of time just
trying to
manage everything. Great. So this is where software, I believe, like the power of software comes in and takes the effort and make it easier for users to manage their meetings. And for example, like the way you utilize templates in Notion. So instead of writing the agenda again and again and again, you can start with template and kind of think about different type of meetings that are probably, they're not the same, but in terms of how you gather the information and how you gather or how you put the agenda, you can find some similarities. So we can make it much easier with software, with tools like Notion and other tools I'm going to show you, all the meeting process and the workflow of planning a great meeting, what happened during the meeting, what happened after the meeting. So let's start. So what I'm going to show you now is my individual workspace. I call it the AOS. I think that I presented it last time, but many things have changed.
I'm sure, yeah.
But yes, so how I see my life, my let's say my operation system of my life. There are 3 different pillars. One is focus. What is my main focus? How I'm making sure that my time goes to the things that matter, things that I'm building. So it can be my task management in a way. So I call it build. Writing, you can see everything here. Things that I write, like to my blog. Meeting notes are things that I actually write, and notes, which is like random notes and thoughts that I have. So everything is inside. Read is stuff that I capturing to read later, like replaces me Pocket and other kind of Instapaper and other kind of applications. A reflection is like my weekly review, finding trends about myself. And I actually monitor 3 different things, which is sleep, health, which is my heart rate and all this kind of stuff, and productivity. So the combination of these 3 are kind of something that gives me like a better understanding about my trends and how can I improve myself, continuously improving my habits and the way I do things. So now you can see I have a lot of like toggles here. I love toggles because then you can, from a minimalist workspace, you have like you can just open toggles and it will unveil you to like an amazing world of a lot of things that you can do. So for this example, this is my navigation kind of a toggle. So I can navigate between different links here. This one is probably my favorite. This is my habit tracking, and it actually reflects the growth card that you see here. So for every, you can see the change. So what I'm trying to do like consistently every day is yoga reading. So yoga reading, this is my mood. So I'm tracking moods by emojis. I don't know why I have like a tooth, like
you had a toothache that day.
But this is like, I don't know what happened there. Probably I went to the doctor there, but to the dental doctor. But I'm not sure why. But what I'm trying to track is like different habits that I'm doing, and also I put here like a dopamine kind of a good dopamine kind of reward when if I'm completing everything. Look what happened to the card that you see in the left side of the screen. I'm getting like a great job, Tommy message, which is sort of like a dopamine, like a reward, which kind of closed here I'm tracking like brain food. So instead of doing like this complex calorie checking and so I'm just putting the stuff that I want to eat every day. So it's kind of building a system for yourself. This is the way I love to do things. Here you can find my goals. So goals is like stuff that I track. It's like more like a long-term goal, and I'm actually associated rewards. So if I finish this goal, like the global productivity, blah, blah, I'm getting this reward, which is a cattle. I don't know.
I love how random that is.
Yeah. Well, I think this one is probably it's like a watch. So if I'm raising money, I'm going to buy me a great watch. Probably my investors will not like it, but it's kind of it's sort of like a rewarding system that are being associated with my goals, with my long-term goals and objectives, which is nice. Let me just.
I think we're gonna have to do like a part 2 of your of your like daily productivity. This is incredible.
Yeah. So we definitely need to continue. Okay, so let's go to the reading section. Wait for a sec. No, the writing section. So the writing section, this is where I'm actually going to talk about meetings. So inside of the writing sections, I've got, in addition to for having like stuff that I need to write, this is like a task management for my blog and things that I'm writing. So I actually am writing the blog post inside of this card, and it's filtered by things that I need to write today or 1 month from now. And basically what I'm trying to do here, you see this is like also a part of my content calendar. So this is like my content calendar, and I can see what are the next things that I need to write, because it takes me more time. It's not a part of my to-do list. It's like I have a different system because it just, I don't know, it makes sense
Requires
for
like
me
different
to,
brain power, right? It's like different assets. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but now let's talk about meetings. So what I see here in the writing session, this is my individual workspace. So I'm reminding you. So I can see all the meetings that I have today. And inside of this meeting, I can see also a workspace that actually helps me manage these specific meeting. So the way we do it, we actually created in our team, we created an extension integration that syncs between our calendar to Notion automatically and export all the meetings, all the relevant meetings in your calendar to Notion, to a database in Notion. Actually automatically opens a database in Notion. And we also replacing the cover. So with like and matching it to the meeting. Like if it's a one-on-one meeting, it will be a different cover. It's like a brainstorming meeting, it will be a different cover.
Yes.
So it's also something nice. And the best part, so if you were offering this to, of course, so for all the participants in the webinar, the best part, it syncs with Google Calendar, and inside of Google Calendar, inside of the event page in Google Calendar, you will find a link to this card in Notion. So it's vice versa. And I will show you everything. You don't need to worry about it. But let's go inside. Let's see how powerful it is. So once I switch to calendar view, you actually see basically my calendar, which you have all the time. So today I had 2 meetings. It's only the meetings that I have. So I filtered out, my meditation sessions and doctor appointments and everything. So I just filtered out. You can see the filter here. So we are putting automatically all the participants. So I just filtered out every event with a participant will be here, meaning that this is a meeting with someone else. So all the meetings with myself, deep sessions are not a part of it, which is really, really cool because let's take, for example, a meeting, this one, okay, because it's a meeting with you. So what we are syncing, what we're doing automatically, and basically this is how we manage meetings in our team. So you can find the time, it's been synced automatically with your calendar, the duration of the event, which is really important for future features
learnings,
in Notion that we cannot discuss. You have the organizer, which who is the organizer of the meeting, the participant of the meeting, and the best part, we added followers. What is followers? Basically transforming this meeting to be async as well. So because you want to make sure some of your teammates are not, if they are not in the meeting in real time, and sometimes they don't have to be, right? So we don't need them in real time to make a decision, or we can follow up after the meeting. So by adding this property, someone who follows the meeting, you can your teammate or your colleague can filter out all the meetings that he should follow and read what happened inside of this meeting. And you will understand because now we are synthesizing a lot of information from a lot of teammates inside of this meeting, and then the following option actually become pretty relevant. We also have a link to your calendar. So once I click on it, you can see that this event inside of your Google Calendar, right? You see? Ooh. It kind of navigates you to this event in Google Calendar, which is also nice. Oh, and the best part, my favorite part in Notion is the relationship between different databases. And for that, I want to show you the way we actually aggregate articles in our team. We call it, Da Vinci. Why Da Vinci? Because, well, we admire Leonardo da Vinci, of course, because, there are a lot of like multi-discipline, it's not only about work-related stuff. It's everything that actually inspires us as a team. So it can be music that we listen to. It can be articles that we want to share. So instead of sending links in Slack and sending links in multiple channels, we are aggregating all the stuff that as part of our interest as a team that we want to share with our colleagues, and you can find everything here, which is great. So by adding properties, you can also take it to your personal workspace, because now if you read it, I can just say, okay, I read this one, I read this one, and then it will not appear in my personal, database, because I can filter it out. But why am I showing you this? And of course, you can see it also the way it actually reflects in my personal database, in my personal OS. So I can see it here, read. So everything that I haven't read and my colleagues or my teammates put it here, I can see and I can read. And once I click, okay, I read this one, boom. It's like your to-do list for articles and everything that is like knowledge sharing outside of your team, right? So all the things that you want to capture can be found here. But why am I showing you this? Because it's really relevant for meetings and for pre-reads, right? So every meeting is like a shareable, you need to share stuff. You want to make sure people are reading the stuff that you are sharing before they actually get inside of this meeting. And I remember that I read this article about Jeff Bezos when he's taking like 10 minutes of a meeting, just releasing notes to everyone, just to read before the meeting actually starts. So everyone are kind of awkwardly silenced, and read 10-minute like notes, and before they actually start the meeting, to have all the context they need to run a great session. So without just presenting something and wasting like a lot of time for your team, you can do it before, and you can do it before the meeting actually starts. Distribute notes, distribute articles. So in this case, I'm connecting to the DaVinci database that spontaneously, and not like my team just put captured articles during the day and during the week, and I can just search everything that is related. Let's say Notion. So this is a session about Notion. So I can just put all the articles that are associated for this meeting that I want my team to read before the meeting starts, right? So this is why it kind of makes sense to have this bi-directional links to other databases in your meeting. Great.
Love it.
Now, questions, by the way, before I continue?
I mean, we've had a number pop up, but I suspect that you're probably going to be addressing them. So I can either read them out, or we can kind of finish the tour and come back to the Q&A.
Yeah, that's
up to you. Okay.
We have many things to cover. Great.
Okay.
So our integration actually generates a perfect evergreen template for every meeting that you have inside of your calendar. So inside of this workspace. So what we did, for example, the meeting agenda. So the agenda out of the description in your calendar, but you also can also add stuff to the agenda. So this is why we put this emoji, because every meeting starts with refining or defining the goal of the meeting, and you need one goal. Like, what do you want to achieve out of this meeting? And you need to write it down, because it's really important. More important, more than it's important for the participants to actually get into this meeting and understand the context of this meeting. It's also important as the meeting organizer. So you know how to facilitate this meeting better. So you know what kind of research or what is the allocated time for every meeting. So this is why it's really important to only define one goal for every meeting. Don't try to to surpass it. Don't try to define more than that, because then the meeting will be just useless, right? Or overwhelming in a way. So just try to do like quick meetings to make a decision or to brainstorm. And of course, I will talk about alternatives as well. So let's say this goal is to giving access to Notions fans, right? And supercharge their meeting workflow. So just an example. So this is like, I really thought about it. Even it like took me a minute, but it's really important for the success of the meeting. Then we believe that there are some stuff that participants should review before the meeting starts. So our favorite tools actually are Loom, Typeform, and Figma for designers, but I also add Pitch.com and probably So Loom is great for just showing your screen and we can show. Let's do an example. So let's go to Loom. So when it comes pretty effective, when you want to combine between async to sync. So meetings are in real time, right? But with Loom, you can actually review something that you wouldn't review in a meeting. Like you want to review a project status, you want to review a presentation. So don't do it in a meeting, because this is not the best way to utilize everyone's time, right? So the way you can do it, let's say I want to share this one. So what I'm doing, I'm actually copying the link, and I recorded my screen. So if you don't know Loom is a screen recording, a very fast screen recording application. With one click, you record your screen, your voice, and your face simultaneously. And with another click, you just get a link to your clipboard, and you can share it via Slack, Notion, or whatever. And the best part, that Notion has an embedded visual. Wait, let's go back. They have this embedded Loom, which you can just copy and pass the link here, and you will get a watchable kind of a watchable interface. You can just click and watch. So the way we use it, in order to cut the meeting time, we're recording something, and in order to present it, something that we will have presented in the meeting, but instead of presenting it for everyone, we're just putting a link here, and everyone can watch it whenever they want, in the best time that they want. It's really effective for remote teams. So using Loom not only replaces your meetings, but it also can and can shorten your meetings and reduce the meeting time with your team. So this is the first thing. Of course, you can share. Do you know Miro, by the way?
Yeah.
So Miro is also a great tool, but I think a lot of people know Miro. So let's show you pitch.com. And also a cool hack about Pitch. So a week ago, they released their first version. They went out from beta for the first time, and now a pitch.com. Think about it like Keynote or PowerPoint, but really, really fast, cool. Right? So it's like it's a workspace for teams to design their presentation, and it's working really, really fast. I know that the Notion team also uses it. So let's go to templates, and then you will see what I'm talking about. Pitch. Okay, so the best part in Pitch, like they have a template gallery like in Notion, so you can just go and find, let's say you want to present something to your team, so you can find like the workflow that you want. Let's say I want to present a status report, right? So I'm clicking on this template, and boom, I have it here. I don't need to go to PowerPoint and to design it from scratch. I have everything that I want here in order to present a project. So I'm just clicking on it. You have this roadmap. Boom. Okay. So let's think that I just did it. The best part that they have the sharing. So you can share not only a link as a public access, but you can also embed it. Now let's go to Notion and see how you can synthesize it in Notion. I'm passing the link here. It's not working. So what I need to do is actually only take this one. Only take the URL from the embed. Okay. Now Notion has this bug that you need to just.
You have to like hit a new line, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My hack here is to just hit Command-Shift-V, and then somehow it's working. So without the format, so Command-Shift-V, and then it will work. And then create embed, and then look how beautiful it is. You can embed a presentation inside of the meeting page. And basically you can navigate between. So I have only one page here, but this is the way. Like think about it instead of doing it in PowerPoint and then download the link, download the version and upload it as a file, you can actually embed it with pitch.com, which is really, really cool. And people can see the actual presentation from the event page.
What I love about this too is that obviously it gives people that time to prepare, and also they probably have more insights and more thoughts to be able to contribute to the meeting versus sometimes in the meeting you like need a minute to process what you've seen. So I imagine I can just see how this would speed things up drastically. I love this.
I actually call these kind of tools time machines. Like they really enhance and improve your time because they are taking you the busy work, right? They're taking you. So if you think about pitch.com, they're taking you the busy work of designing a presentation. So you don't need to think about the design, the format, the fonts. Everything is like templatized, and you just think about the content, which is really what matters. If you want to present something, if you want to share knowledge. So this is why I love all these kind of modern tools, because they as a knowledge worker, you need to be focused on just sharing knowledge, sharing your talent, and not focusing on the busy work and the way you do stuff. So this is why I love this kind of tools, and leveraging the templates that they have inside is really, really powerful. The third toggle is the discussion item toggle, which you can have. Every good meeting, if you want to split it down into topics, you need to think about the roadblock, the options that you have, like maybe to put like 2 or 3 alternatives, and what will be the decision at the end. So this toggle is during the meeting. This one we're capturing during the meeting, and then after the meeting, we're toggling the action items. So I recommend taking at least 5 minutes before the meeting ends, just to talk about what are the action items, who is in charge of doing what is the deadline. Okay, so if you don't allocate time for it, meaning that you won't have like a proper follow-up by the end of the meeting. And the way to capture it is in this toggle, right? You also can with inline databases, you can also toggle it to your task database. So this is what we are doing with our team. We're just creating an inline database here, and basically you can create, you can put inside of this database tests that will be in sync with your main test database.
Gotcha. Danny was asking about that. Do you relate your tasks with your meetings in Notion? So sounds like you do that at the business level with the master task database, but not as much in your personal space, or?
Yeah, so we have one database for everything that we do inside of Notion. Actually, just let's quickly see it. So we call it. Looks similar. It was inspired by you, Marie, from your template. You see that this rainbow is like your signature. So of course the task, so the database is called Do, and of course it's a part of our main database of the company, and also people are taking it for their personal database. So everything that we do is here. Also, I just for you to see the time zones. So this is our team, and we did a database with time zones. So you can see the time zone. This is also a formula that I can share. So this is the TLV time zone. It's a formula. So you can see the time zone for every new employee that we have in Supertools. So Tal, for example, this is morning. I'm now in my evening. So it's kind of really useful to have like one workspace with all your teammates with time zones. So for everyone to see what time. So this one is pretty much open when I'm scheduling meetings, just to see to go through different time zones. So it's really, really useful. And let's go back to the meeting. Okay. So yeah, so this is the meeting summary. This is the workflow, and then you can see it in a database. So this is how it looks like in a bigger database, when you can see all this cover that are associated with the meeting type. So this is one-on-one, and you can also see it in the calendar view, which is also cool. And replace different views. Yeah, so that's it about the meetings in Notion. How do I manage it inside my calendar? So this is my calendar. So my calendar is my navigation system. It's the main organism of time for me. So I'm managing everything. I'm managing the stuff that I'm doing, all the tasks that I'm doing. It's a methodology called time blocking, right? So if you are not familiar with time blocking, time blocking is how I actually use my calendar. Yeah, so time blocking is a time management method that actually asks you to divide your day into blocks of time. So we call it like time blocks. So every block is something that you do. It can be a task. It can be a session with yourself, like deep work. It can be a meditation session, whatever you do. So you're just, instead of scheduling only meetings in your calendar, which is like probably someone else's priority, right? All the meetings that you have, you can also schedule your priorities. So this is a great methodology for you to learn. It's a practice. It's not easy. Yes. It's a lot of busy work. This is also part of our mission in Magical to make it easier. But I first got this exposure to time blocking after reading the book 15 Secrets Successful People Know About Time Management by Kevin Krause. Cool. It's a great book. So if you want like an introduction to the world of productivity and all the methods like GTD and time blocking and in Inbox Zero, this is like the best book to start. I will put a link inside of this chat. And when you master actually the practice of time blocking, using your calendar instead of your to-do list, you can literally see your life's priorities, right? By looking at your weekly calendar. And the way you actually do it is by color coding, right? So color coding, you can see it right away. So I have everything that you see in yellow is it's like external meetings that I have. External meetings like one-on-ones, meeting with investors. So everything is like in yellow. Everything you see in red is my deep work sessions. Everything that you see in purple is our internal team meetings, right? So everything in purple is like internal team meetings and meetings or mentorship sessions that we're doing with our team. By the way, a cool hack. So you see all my meetings are in gibberish. You see it?
Yeah.
Not like real meetings. So because I actually am using the Chrome extension called Hide, I think. Let's look it up. No, that Data Mask. So Data Mask is like I can manually pick whatever I want here and I can hide the title. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So it's really, really useful for demonstrations. So I can
amazing.
hide the data. If you want to demonstrate something, but you don't want people to see everything in your calendar, so I just hide all the meetings because I don't want people to see. I don't care about my life, but other people's life and information. So I use Data Mask and I put. Let's read it down. Write it down.
We'll definitely follow up with folks with because I know you're mentioning tons of really valuable resources. So we'll make sure to send out a follow up, maybe a Notion page that kind of has a list of the things that you mentioned.
Awesome. So everything you see in green is actually my fitness goal, which is to be more healthy, to do more meditation or workouts or whatever. Blue is preparation sessions. Like if I need to get, for example, this one is preparation to the Zoom party, which we had yesterday. So I'm just blocking time to prepare myself for a meeting. I also have this decompress kind of time in order to avoid Zoom fatigue. So every meeting, 15 minutes after a meeting ends, 15 minutes after a meeting ends, I just put like a session to decompress. So making sure no one will schedule something on after this meeting, before the meeting. So this one is really, really powerful. So this is everything about color coding. And now just by looking at it, I can literally see that I need more time with my team. And I need more time. I need to cut external meetings because I have too much. But it's actually part of my goals. And you can find my goals here. So I'm in a seed round investment fund, like trying to raise money to Magical to close the seed round. And this is like the last week of this round. So I have this goal to meet with three investors per day. I read it in a book, and it's something that I want to have as a goal for this week, specifically for this week. So I just put it in here, which is also something nice.
So if anyone's not sure, that's an all-day event in Google, right? So you just mark it as an all-day event. So it's kind of pinned at the top.
It's an all-day event. Yeah, exactly. It's an all-day event. Let me just, for a second, I want to show you also something pretty cool. Can you see the
gray blocks?
The gray blocks. So the gray blocks is probably the most effective thing that I did this year. So I have this ring. It's called, wait, it's now charging. I have this ring called Aura. Do you know the Aura ring?
I don't.
So it's sort of like, think about it as like Fitbit for sleep. So it tracks your sleep, monitors your deep sleep, HRV, a lot of amazing stats. And it's kind of, instead of waking up and taking the app every morning and to see all these kind of stats, what I did an integration with Integromat. Okay, so you can see it here. So I just connected the ring with Auth 2.0 to Google Calendar. And I know it's like we are geeking up here. So this is great. Like the highest level that you can for geeking about productivity. But let's go back to this one. So I created a sleep lock inside of my calendar to let my team actually know how am I going to be today.
That's amazing.
So think about, like, now you can see, like, I'm 92% rested. Okay, so this is like the best version of myself. I'm rested. I have this energy, so they don't need to do anything, which is nice. So this week was actually good. So 80%, 82% is something maybe they need to adjust themselves for my behavior, because when I don't sleep, I'm like the worst version of myself. But inside of this card is actually pretty nice. I'm gonna show you what happened inside of it.
I love this.
So inside, I can actually I leverage the data they are aggregating this string together with the Integromat. So I put everything here. So I can see my sleep score. I can see my HRV level. I can see everything here. So by reflecting on my calendar every weekly review, I can find some trends, like cool trends. Like why is my HRV is too low? Maybe I need to do more meditation sessions. And I can see this correlation between, the meditation sessions that I actually do and not miss, and my HRV level the day after. So it's really, really cool. So you can track it in your calendar, making sure that you see it every day instead of tracking it in an app, which is not very interactive. So this is my calendar. This is the way I do stuff, and this is the way I actually communicate with my team. Like my day and my. So this is like my navigation system for my day and for my time, which is nice. And if you think about it, your calendar is probably the only source that has this ability to shape your week. So Notion has this ability to shape your life, which is amazing, because you can run your entire life in Notion, your thoughts and everything that is not time related. But your calendar has this ability to shape your time and your week, your long-term relationship with your time, which is this is why I love doing stuff inside my calendar.
And can I ask, Tommy, how much of that, how far in advance are you pre-planning your weeks? Do you have like a weekly ritual where you're like, okay, it's Sunday night, I'm planning out the next week? Or what for you is your ritual around putting the stuff in your calendar? Do you have recurring events every week for some of those blocks?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see it here. So I have this session on Friday. So on Friday, I have the weekly review session. It's a 90-minute session when I actually have this also inside a link to Notion. I want you to see it. So by the way, wait, let's open it here because it's easier. So let's open this weekly review. So here I have this link to Notion. Actually, you can go to your calendar and open it directly. So once I click on it, you can find I call it trends, which is the way I do weekly review.
I love that, yeah.
We will see it right away. Sorry about that. So this is my weekly review for the month. So I can see a month of, the 3 pillars that I'm actually monitoring, which is my sleep, my health, my overall health, and my productivity. So inside of these cards, you can find, so this is my most important mission for this week. So I'm limiting it to 1 sentence only. It should be really, really short. Like, what is my top priority for this week? So I can find it here. So every time I hear, and this is like a long kind of, a long page of everything that I monitor, my rescue time, sleep score. Can I actually share something very quickly, but in a different screen? Is it possible?
You may. I think you might have to unshare this one and share. It does. I don't think it lets you share 2 screens simultaneously. It's so fun. I feel like we could do like a whole, and probably should do a whole series. We should do maybe a live stream, bring on my YouTube channel and dig in deeper to some of these other tools.
Yeah, so this one is all biohackers and all this like data geeks or junkies. So I'm like a data junkie. I'm so, I have this ring, and I also have Apple Watch, and I'm monitoring my productivity with rescue time, and I'm monitoring also my overall health with all the sensors that you have in your phone. So this one is the sleep. This is how I track my sleep, and then I'm just finding the trend and put it in Notion. So you see this, like the score is 70. So I'm just copy it to Notion. Soon enough, we'll have API, so it will be easier to actually copy information to your database. So I'm tracking these 3 things. This is how I track my sleep score. This is how I track my productivity score with the rescue time. So you can find every week, I'm trying to find what was my productivity score. And this is how I track my health and the different correlation between the weather, the number of steps I did, my weight, the way I sleep, my HRV, my resting time. So everything is here. And you can see it like in like if you want to find bigger trends, so you can just do 6 months or 3 months or 3 weeks, which is nice. And I can by looking at my calendar, by looking at this, I can find a lot of trends, and which will translate into strategies and tactics that I want to do in my life. So how can I optimize my system if I don't know what is my current status, and if I don't know what is my like how if I cannot compare it to my history book. So this is my history book of all the things that I tracking and capturing, like my mood, my workouts. So it's actually things. I should start with this. This is Gyroscope. Gyroscope is a service that actually integrates with all your health applications like Apple Watch, Aura. If you're using like sport applications or running applications, so it also syncs with these kind of applications, and it aggregates all this information into a beautiful dashboard. So this is like, you can think about it like Google, how you call like this metrics. So you can think about like this is your dashboard of your life. So like you have Mixpanel for your startup, so you have Gyro for your life in a way. So this is how I'm actually tracking. And the best part in Gyroscope, they're giving you this health score of what is your current health, and you can compare it to your previous health score. And they're saying this is actually your age that you're going to die, which is frightening, in my opinion. It's not the best user experience, but you can see exactly what you want to improve. Like I need to improve my exercise, which is right, because I did too many meetings and I focus on bringing money instead of helping myself optimizing my body so I can okay, so that's it. That's my kind of health dashboard and how I monitor all this kind of thing. How it relates to meetings, I don't have a clue. I don't know how did we get into showing this, which
I think we're talking about your weekly reviews.
Yeah,
part of your weekly review, I guess.
It is a part of my weekly review, because inside of my weekly review, we go back to Notion.
Yeah, I'm curious how much of it is like your personal weekly review versus team weekly review. And one thing I was going to check with you is, do you have regular, like strategic planning meetings with your team kind of outside of your regular day-to-day meetings? Is there like these concrete milestone meetings that you have?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have some quarter meeting, or like we're trying to every month to actually do. So every week we have this weekly update, or weekly all ends, when everyone are getting inside of and updating everyone what they're stuck in, what kind of help they need, and they're presenting the status in their projects. And we have one-on-ones, which is we are a small startup, so we don't have all these crazy methodologies around like how to do like a quarter meeting, or but we're trying to update many, like 70% probably of our communication are not in meetings. This is why you don't find a lot of meetings, internal meetings, in my calendar, because we are highly relying on us in communication. Like instead of Meet, my CTO can send us a project update, or a feature release update in Loom, or in pitch.com, or as a Notion page. So instead of meeting and review it, we actually can comment on the page itself. So you can comment in I will show you in the meeting right away, but you can comment and give feedback and collect feedback, and even make decisions, so you don't have to meet. So this is also this is also something that we do, and in order to reduce useless meetings, in order to reduce real-time meetings, right? So you don't want, the reason is because I'm a great believer of deep work. And in order to achieve deep work, you need uninterrupted time in your day. So you need at least between 90 to 2 hours, 90 minutes to 2 hours, in order to but uninterrupted. But imagine that your team doesn't know that, right? So your team doesn't know that you have a deep work right now. They can look up in your calendar, but when you're actually organizing a meeting, you're just sending a calendar invite, and sometimes you don't block. Sometimes your teammates not blocking their calendars with deep work. Okay, yeah. So this uninterrupted time is really, really important. But we have fragmented scheduling with a bunch of different meetings that are taking us these sessions out of our week and out of our day. So what you want to make sure is that you have this uninterrupted time. The only way to do it is by blocking a weekly review and doing this time blocking every week to your next week. This is the only way to do it. So you need to block your time unless someone else will block it with a bunch of different meetings. So this is going to create a negotiable kind of a situation when someone really needs your time. He should ask, and you can prioritize it, and then and then you can make a better decision. But if your calendar is empty by default, meaning that a lot of people can steal your time, a lot of people can prioritize your time for you, which is something that you want to avoid. The way I do it is doing time blocking, making sure that every meeting in my calendar is being associated with the Notion page, so I can actually utilize the meeting and share information with my team. And sometimes, if we have enough information, we can get into a decision, so we don't have to meet in real time, right? Yeah. So I imagine a calendar that you can block your time. You can decide, okay, this is a point in time that I need to gather information, but I don't have to meet in real time. So I imagine meetings in your calendar which will be completely async, right? Yeah. And this is also how we see a better calendaring system. Not only something that we can share collectively in real time, but also something that we can, around this time block, we can gather information. We can synthesize different productivity styles in one piece. So we will have all the context that we need in order to make a team decision, right? So this is the way I see it. do we have time for more questions?
Yeah, why don't we dig into some of the questions? And then I know there's like other parts that we talked about that we said if we have time, we could dive in. So if anyone, if you have time or if people want to stay later, we can kind of dig into some of those other pieces. Okay, so Tal is asking, how do you integrate / sync your meetings with Notion? So I know we didn't get into the specifics necessarily, like how do you actually do this integration? So I don't know if we want to actually show the calendar integration.
Let's do it. Let's absolutely let's see a live demo of this integration. This is the best part, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, Tal. Lots of votes on that one. So yeah, people are excited to see this.
Okay, so once you actually, so this is our integration. You go to, I will put a link here, and soon you need to request access because it will be ready, I believe, in a week max. So we believe it's going to be even before that. So once you get the link, we'll send you can request access from our website. Then we will send you an email with everything that you need in order to start, including a video tutorial. But you don't need it because it's really, really intuitive. You get into this Notion expert preferences. What you need to do, you just select the starting date that you want to export your meetings from your calendar to Notion, and the end date, right? So I can say Friday. Let's just, because we want to make it quickly. Let's say from yesterday to next week, right? And then you can select, okay, which calendar do you want to export from? You can select multiple calendars, or you can select only your calendar, this is my calendar. Then you can select the workspace that you want to export, and you want to create this database. So in our case, this is my main workspace, Supertools. So I'm exporting it to Supertools. And then you can filter it. So because we don't want to spam this database with a lot of personal meetings, you're meeting with your doctor, you don't need a Notion page for your meeting, for a meeting with your doctor. Maybe you do, I don't know. Maybe you want to capture some, but let's say you don't. So you can filter them out. You can say only export events that I'm the organizer. So let's say that I organize. So let's say, let's keep it like this. Only export events that are more with 2 participants. This is also kind of making sure that you only export meetings with more than that are not only with yourself, which is nice. And only export events that I accepted. Sometimes a calendar as a bunch of meetings that you haven't accept in a way. So it's still waiting for your RSVP. So yeah, so this one probably we recommended to put it on, and bunch of other filtering stuff that you can do. Okay, so once you click on export to Notion, then Hocus Focus.
Magic happens.
Magic, yeah, we call it Hocus Focus because the focus part. So the magic happens, and you will see it right away. So we are creating a database, and in real time, you can see it. This is beautiful because, in real time, you can. We are creating meeting pages from your calendar by the preferences that you put. So we are adding a cover picture. We are adding a tag automatically. So we know to identify the type of the meeting and tagging it automatically to be, if it's a group meeting, if it's a one-on-one meeting. We put the participants inside. And for every meeting, you can also find our outstanding agenda, so the recommended agenda. And it's really nice to see. Oh, and by the way, we also put a link to your event link in your calendar, which is also nice. So you can look it up here. But probably the best part is that for every meeting, we also put in your calendar a link to Notion.
Yeah.
So you can click in your calendar when you're jumping into a Zoom meeting. You can click on Notion and basically see this meeting in Notion. Let's see it now. All ends. Everything that you need, all the information from your calendar, automatically. Participants, you can add followers. So let's say I want to add my team, so you can create followers here. You have the event URL and pre-reads. I want to make sure that everyone reads this one before the meeting starts, and then I have the agenda right away.
So do these exports always go to the same database? Does a new database get created every time you make an export? Like, do you move these after they've been brought into Notion? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So currently, it's like the first version, the beta version is you need to export every time that you want to sync with your calendar. You need to export it, and then we're creating another database. So, but very, very soon, like the next version, it will be automatically. So it will be Notion will be synced with your calendar, and your calendar will be synced with Notion. And this is a part of Magical. Of course, once we release Magical in January, everything will work together, synchronously and in a great harmony, in a way. But this is like a workaround in the meantime, because we are using it in our team, and we really wanted to share it with the world. So this is why we're releasing it before even we released our product. But yeah, so make sure to request access both to Notion if you want to hear more about Magical. Of course, I will put a link here in the chat.
Yes, please. I'm sure lots of folks here are very excited to give it a shot. I know I am. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can click on the link that I put here in the chat. Just put your email. We'll make sure to send you probably in a few days. We want to make sure that everything is working for everyone. So we're testing it in our team and with more teams as well. And once we will have it ready next week, we will send you a link with the tutorial of what is the best way to do it, and with some Q&As as well.
Love it.
So yeah, and I'm sure it's going to save you a lot of time. Like, just instead of opening a Notion page, a new open page from scratch, or even with a template for a calendar, event and put the time and put it takes a lot of time. And by adding all the information from your calendar, by adding the time, you can actually play with database in a new kind of level, And soon enough, you will understand why.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And to unlock a new kind of level, higher level, a meta level of really utilize the time dimension in Notion.
Yeah, I love it. A quick cosmetic question from Gray was, where did you get that beautiful animated header of your jellyfish?
Yeah, I think I even have this. It's called like a dynamic background. So yeah, funny story. So Apple, I'm obsessed with Apple's keynotes, especially when Steve Jobs did them. So I'm really obsessed with them. So let me share with you the background. And for one of their, I think it was iPhone 6 or iPhone 5. It's like an old iPhone. No, maybe later on. I know, but their introduction video of the new iPhone. So at the beginning, they put this amazing jellyfish in purple, and I saw that and I said, "Wow, I want it to be in front of my eyes.
I need that in my life."
The rest of my life. I want to see it every day. So it was so beautiful, and I said, "Yeah, I have to capture it." So I used a tool called Clear. Wait, it's the best tool ever. Clear Shot. Do you know Clear Shot?
Clean Shot?
Clean Shot. Yeah, sorry. Clean Shot. Clean Shot is like it's a capturing tool for your screen. As like you can screen GIFs and videos and whatever you want. It's so fast and so delightful. Like, it's the best tool ever. It costs money, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did it with GIF, because you cannot do like a cover picture with the video, but you can definitely put a GIF inside. So I just capture the video, and I grab the link and put it here. Let me share with you if you want, I can share the background in my Notion as my Notion template. Let's see. Yeah, dynamic cover. Yes. Okay, so you have the tutorial here. You have the cover here. Let me share it inside of this chat. Is it okay?
Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much.
So you have the background here. So if you want, you just need to grab the link. I put the link here. Put it in the when you're changing the cover in Notion, you have this option to also do it with a link. So you can just copy and paste the link here, submit, and that's it. You will see the cover right away. You need to copy this address actually inside of the call out box. So just grab it. I wanted to make it easier so you don't need to actually download that to your computer. So just submit and take some time, but it will be there. I promise you.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of course. What happened? Why it's not there? Let's see it. Oh my God. What happened?
We have to update the link. Oh no. Yeah, clean shot.
Another option probably is to actually do copy link. Do copy link here. Let's try it out. Okay, it's broken now. I don't know why. But you have it here as well, so you can just view original.
Copy that link. Yeah.
Yeah, view original. Copy the link from the original page, like this. Copy image address. Go, then change cover link. Boom. Hopefully it will be now. It will be ready. Yes. Success.
Yes.
Now you have some amazing jellyfish. Yes.
Someone was asking, a doctor was asking, except it looks like clean shots for Mac only. Is there anything similar for Windows or Linux users? I don't know if you're aware of a competitor or similar.
No, Windows are so far away from my workflows.
I know, same.
I can check it out. Maybe Loom in a way, or Bubbles. Bubbles are also a great tool, but web-based. So they just went out of beta. Bubbles is like a competitor of Loom, but they're doing all this kind of screenshot things from your browser. I'm not sure if they have the GIF but my favorite feature in CleanShot is the scroll capture.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Like you capture a screen, you scroll down the web page, and then everything is like, you have like a capture of the entire page. A screen shot of the entire page, which is amazing. But they have so many cool features inside. I cannot believe this is like one tool.
Yeah.
You have like a self timer. So a lot of things that I didn't even know that I need. And
I didn't know I needed this in my life.
Yeah, and now I cannot live without. So so a clean shot is really, really nice. So if you need it.
Awesome.
So probably I'll put a link here.
Gray had another couple great questions from Gray. So is it possible to control the page icon / cover image as properties and therefore with formulas? And Gray, I don't know if there was a specific, is this in the export to Notion that you were talking about? To control the page icon cover image as properties. I'm not sure.
To control the cover images?
Yeah, Gray, let me know if you can clarify that in the chat to see if we can answer that better. Why use, this is a great question. Why use multi-select instead of person in followers and participants? Like, why not relate it to an actual person?
Yeah, this is because Notion, in terms of the unofficial API that we're using Python in order to do that. And this is like a question. I cannot believe that I know this answer, but my CTO just told me that. So basically, Notion, the people property, it's not. You cannot like the API.
Override it.
API doesn't affect the people property. So when I transfer task, like for my calendar, to the people property, is not unlocking in a way. So this is the reason, just because it's an unofficial API right before the real API, which I'm sure that's going to let us contribute also to this property. But currently, so this is the reason we're using the participant and followers. And also think about it, a lot of your calendar invites are with external people that they might don't have Notion, or they don't have access to your workspace. So you cannot really call them in the people property. It will be weird. So so this is the reason. It's not perfect. I know it's not perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect, but it's like a huge time saver for the things that you are currently doing. So
It's great. Craig in the
Yeah.
chat was saying this is brilliant. Like he's, it actually probably works better for a lot of people too to do it in this way. So,
it's probably faster, and you can also filter by multi-select. So but yeah, I totally understand why it should be like people, but it's not like a perfect integration. It's not official for all the use cases. And also with the agenda, we wanted to add some cool stuff like the template button that we wanted to add, just to add new items for the agenda. But it also doesn't work with our current workflow. Yeah.
Gray was asking, I don't suppose there's an integration with Slack to create the agenda. We add our items in a Slack channel.
Yeah. To add the agenda from, who is asking, by the way?
Gray was saying, I don't suppose there's an integration with Slack there to create the agenda.
With Notion or?
Yeah, I'm assuming so. Let me know, Gray, if I think he might have had to leave. Because I guess, they do their meetings, and so they're adding stuff in Slack. Could you add stuff in Slack and then it adds the other way around?
In Magical, we do have an integration with Slack when you can add your agenda from Slack to Magical, then it syncs with Notion. So we see it like we're sort of like transforming information that everything is related to your time.
Yeah.
So everything that is time-based will go through Magical, but currently, it's not out yet. But I think the Notion has one integration with Slack, which every event page can be, you can follow an event page, and even so if someone is changing information inside of this event, you will get a message inside Slack, right? So you need to go to updates and then connect Slack channel, and then you need to connect it to Slack. But I found it pretty much a bit overwhelming, like a lot of data, like getting into the channels. So you're just ignoring it to the level that you just ignore it. Okay, so someone just erase a sentence. I don't care. Like, it's just too much. So I think I think it's just too much. In Notion, you're aggregating so much data, so you don't need to get a notification for everything that you actually adding. Maybe like a new database. So I think like people should know that. So maybe you add a new Loom embed. So maybe people should know that, but not for every
single change. I feel like the notifications are a little bit. They're imperfect. There's room to improve those notifications. Danny had a great question about if you plan a meeting to last 30 minutes, but you hit the goal in like 5 minutes, do you end the meeting?
It depends. Like, it depends if it's like a one-on-one meeting, if it's a meeting with someone that you want to get his attention, to want to get his money, whether, I don't know, like to be a client, could be an investor. So it really depends. If it's a team meeting, of course, you need to do as a team, as a manager and as a event or meeting organizer, you need to do whatever it takes to save time to your teammates, to your colleagues. This is the most respectful thing that you can do. Like, our time is the most valuable research, the most limited research on Earth. So the last thing that you want to do is to just waste their time, because they need to do the best work of their lives, and spending it with just useless meetings, it's not the best use. So if you just finish the goal and you don't have anything on the agenda, just finish it before that. I believe that everyone will thank you for that.
Yes.
What do you think? Like, do you think like there is any other? You can play some games on, I don't know, like there are some escape rooms online that you can probably
go waste some time.
There are some. So we have every year we're doing this offsite when this is like a perfect place to maybe to take your time and to kind of to spend it together. So it's like 2 days. It's not like just 30 minutes. And also a tip: make sure that you change the default time in Google Calendar. I don't know, but you can change it in Google
Don't default
Calendar,
to the hour.
It's a funny story. So we did a consulting so I was a productivity trainer. I'm still, but I was a productivity trainer for a company, and and by aggregating their calendars, their team calendars, we understood that 76% of them planning meetings with the default time of Google Calendar, which is 60 minutes. So I had this hypothesis, like, what if we can automatically change,
Yeah.
just automatically bring it to their attention. Like, so once they actually schedule 60 minutes, just will a pop-up message will go into their screen asking them or telling them, hey, you have another option, like 45 minutes. Do you want to save like an hour a day or something? So, and after doing this for around 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we aggregated the data again, and we showed that they actually reduces their meeting time in 11%. And also the CEO checked it after that, and they saw the increase. We did it for the sales department, and he saw this increase in sales, increase in finding new prospects. And the meaning is that, you think that meetings are essential for work, and sometimes it is, but the most essential thing at work is doing the actually work is actually doing a lot of alone work, like silos work, and not doing it in meetings. And I think that in a way, if a salesperson, if you're taking a lot of the useless meeting, and you're not only saving him time, but you're also creating time or creating space to do or for him to prioritize his most essential work. And this is like the best part of reducing time on something that you're wasting a lot of time. You can find it in emails. You can find it with other kind of essential workflows that you're doing all day and every day. So just to give you an example of how you can do it, so you have this option to change the default time to 30 minutes and to also do like a speedy meetings, meaning that end 30 minutes, 5 minutes early, and longer meetings 10 minutes early. So it's also kind of a hacking time that you can do.
I love that. There's a phrase that I read about when you're replying to email, you sort of hit on it, but like brevity is respect. Like when you can make your own email replies to people kind of short and sweet, and kind of keep them action focused as well. So having that mindset in your meetings, having that mindset in your email, in your communication, kind of keeping it concise, right? It's respectful to other people's.
Yeah. Another recommendation, if you want to practice the like saying no thing in your team, saying no to meetings, another practice to go to shoulditbeameeting.com. Yes.
I love this.
They got this domain, and basically it's like a survey that you do. It's like a game, so you need to just answer some questions, and then it kind of helps you get a better decision if it should be a meeting. So there's a specific decision, yes. Does this require input from other people? No. And then you say, okay, good news, you should not schedule a meeting. So 80% of the cases kind of take you to this message, which is, it's something that you can send to your team. Yeah. And it's like a fun thing. It's not something that's not, maybe I will not rely on the decision making of it to this website, but yeah, just something that you can do with your team.
Your meetings are so supercharged that they don't even exist anymore. You've just got like so much time on your hands. I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, this is just a great website. So if you want to use it, I put the link here.
Perfect. You've dropped so many great like tools and nuggets and things. We're definitely going to have to do a follow-up email and follow-up session too. I feel like there's lots we could dig into with your workspace. There's just a couple other, I think, smaller questions we could probably wrap up with. Can you embed a Miro board into Notion? I believe the answer is yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're doing it all the time, actually. It's really cool. There's a few ways to actually onboard it. So let's go to my meeting workspace. So just searching meeting summaries. Choose like a reading block. Just one. Okay, so I grab this link, and then once you grab a link from Miro, you can embed Miro board. And if if you have like a public access, you should see this board here. Yeah, the only thing that I don't know why, but you need to click on it and it's not gonna. So yeah, so you can see it here.
Awesome.
You can open it. You can open the original one. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love that. Danny was asking, how long did
Miro,
it take?
Miro is also a collaborative space. So for those of you who don't know Miro, so Miro is like a collaborative workspace. Is like the replacement of a whiteboard, I believe. So imagine like a huge whiteboard with a lot of features like flowcharts and mind maps and like sticky notes. And they have like their best feature. It's funny, their best feature is probably that. So I know what's the name of the physical sticky notes? Sticky notes, no? This is like the brand as
like
well.
Post-it notes. Yeah.
So sticky notes. So you have the physical sticky notes, which you can buy, and once you put it in let's say you put it in a wall, you can take a picture from the Miro app, and it will transform it digitally to as a Miro page. So it's really, really nice. Like from the physical world to the digital world with cool. One click, with one, So everything will be digitized, like the text, the cards will be in like Miro cards just from your sticky notes. So this is like probably the best, my favorite feature in Miro.
That's awesome. Oh, actually, he's talking about Miro, not Mural. I know they sound very similar. Mural is a very similar product. Yeah.
And there are also competitors, but let me just put the link here. So this is Miro.com. So we're using Miro as well to do some of our brainstorming meetings. So if we have a brainstorming meeting, we're doing it inside of Miro, sharing our screen, and then everyone can see. I believe that they also have like a built-in video conferencing.
Right.
This one is also something very it's fascinating to see these kind of tools. Like for example, pitch.com, the tool that I just showed you. So when you go to pitch.com, I need to log in every time. I don't know. When you go to pitch.com, and probably have it here, no? Okay, so this one is the pitch deck. So let's say I'm having a meeting with pitch.com. So instead of going to Zoom, share your screen, and then everyone should have the link to pitch.com. They have a new thing which called Live, and basically once you put it, this one is really cool. I don't know if it's awkwardly cool or if it's just cool, because then look what happened. No, your camera is is being dragged by your mouse cursor, which I don't know what to say about it. Like this is nice, like it's very innovative, but I don't know what to feel about it. It's kind of weird sometimes, but so when you send it to your team and inside of this workspace, you can see everyone's mouses with their picture plugged to their mouse cursor, which is nice. And then you can collaborate and add and design a deck together or review a deck together.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
So so this is also a way to do meetings. So instead of going to Zoom, you can just go to this page, and everyone can hear you and see you, and you also can influence. You can add stuff to the presentation. You can add comments here. You can add some reactions. Like, I love it.
I feel like that would be very distracting, like as you're moving around making edits, right?
Well, I think this is why it's still in beta, because I'm not sure if this is the best way to actually to do it, but I highly recommend this tool. It's probably our favorite presentation software. So it's everything that is good about Keynote and PowerPoint and other tools. I got to admit that at the beginning, I really didn't understand the hype around pitch.com, and then I use it, and they released a lot of great updates, and now I'm kind of in love with it. So you
always have great tool recommendations.
Yeah, so yeah, make sure to try it out. It's I think it's out of beta now, so you can just sign up and self-serve and
I'm definitely going to try Pitch. I'm going to try Magical. I'm going to default meetings to an hour. I've already got some like good new habits I need to integrate. Awesome. Here's a great question from Anish. Marie and Tommy, what's the first ever thing in your plan after the API public release?
Wow, that's a great question. Probably calendar related stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I think all my dream, like the stuff that we dream as a team to integrate with Notion, so probably will be calendar and time based stuff. Yeah. What is yours?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I feel like I'm so used to doing all these workarounds without it, right? That I'm like, well, where do I start? What do I do with with the API? Calendar integration for sure. It'd be nice to do some kind of quick add of tasks, right? Like you're in another app and you just kind of want to quickly add a new task. I don't know if they'll be able to do something like that. Yeah, calendar meetings and calendars has been the biggest pain. So definitely trying Magical.
Hopefully very, very soon. So we're so excited about it. Like, it was so excited to see if we really believe this is the missing link, because Notion, they did such an amazing job to replace you so many tools, that so many knowledge management, like personal knowledge management tools, and also a lot of use cases in your team. But I believe like your calendar is still so outdated. So, just to do this, what I've showed you with the Aura, like in order to make this integration, you need to be a no-coder. You need to be a coder, not a no-coder. You need to go to Integromat and like find the. So it shouldn't be in 2020. I believe there is a better way. People deserve more from your, from the.
Tools and integrations.
Yeah, it's not only your calendar; it's like your time system in a way.
Yeah. Related to what you just said, Craig was asking, I thought I heard Integromat. How do you integrate Integromat into your systems?
Yeah, so Integromat, I'm using it in order to. For those of you who don't know, Integromat is it's like Zapier, but it's more visual than Zapier. It's probably cheaper than Zapier, so this is why a lot of people are using it. I can share my screen. So it's also an automation, a cloud automation service, when you can just plug two or more cloud services together, which triggered by something that happens in one SaaS tool or tool and action in another one. So imagine like what I showed you. The trigger can be, I started my day with Aura, and after 6, it takes all the information. After 6 a.m., it takes all the information from the Aura, from the server, and put it in my calendar. So the trigger is based on time in this case, and the action is that I'm going to find an event on my calendar, inside my calendar, which will give me all the context and all the information I need. But you can do a lot of things. Like my favorite thing I'm not using Integromat a lot, but just for stuff that are more complex. So I'm running all my automation in Zapier right now. And if I can share, we have time for automation stuff. Yeah. So,
I'm happy to stay a bit longer. Yeah.
Yeah. So
let's extend this meeting.
Absolutely. I have a buffer time. This is a.
It was planned for, right? It was important.
Yeah, it was. So I want to show you some cool stuff in Zapier. So things that I do here. Okay, let's go to my Zaps. So things with Notion. So Notion, they had an unofficial API, not they, but someone called Power App. The service, it's now not working anymore. I'm not sure, but I saw something on Product Hunt yesterday that looks promising before Notion will have the official API. But stuff that I do basically to start a workflow in Notion is I'm sending myself daily emails, to encourage me to fill out a Notion page, right? So yeah, so just to give you an example, so every time, so you remember I talked about trigger and then action. So the trigger here is every day at 6 a.m. Zapier is sending an email. This automation, the Zapier recipe, it's called inbound email. So it's just like an internal email system from Zapier to your Gmail account. So every day at 6 a.m. I'm getting an email from my future self, right? And then then it will be sent by Gmail. So sorry. So the trigger is Zapier. So the trigger is just a time-based kind of thing. So every day at 6 a.m. And then an email will be sent to my account. So from this email, the name is Future Me.
I love that. Yeah.
And then the subject is start your day, Tommy, and then the date. And then, hey, Tommy, it's time to start your day with reflection. Trust me, you need it. And then the Notion workspace or the Notion link for this specific page. So let's see it in action. So let's say I'm now testing it, send the data, reset and continue. Okay, now let's open my email. All right.
Future me.
Yeah, so you can see I have a message from my future self. And my future self is telling me, hey, Tommy, it's time to start your day. Trust me, you want to do it. Don't be lazy, okay? Because I know I tend to be lazy. So I'm starting my day at 6 a.m. or once I open my inbox and I can see this one, which is
I have a hard time believing that you tend to be lazy, Tommy. Your version of lazy.
Well,
no,
I'm doing whatever I can not to be. So this is why I'm using so many tools, because
it's like you have to almost trick
in this space.
Right?
Yeah.
Trick your brain into doing
like,
the things you want to do and follow through on. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a kid, I was pretty lazy, and then I decided that I need to do whatever it takes not to take me out of this default.
Yeah.
Exactly, and this is like. I believe that a lot of productivity trainers that they do it because it was a part of their journey. Like they had some problems and they wanted to solve it. So it's like trainers, like sport trainers, that in their childhood they were a bit heavyweight or. So I think about it like why am I doing all this stuff? Yeah, probably because I'm lazy. I don't want to do busy work. I don't like writing this something again and again and again. This is why I'm having all this kind of automation and snippets and templates and. Well,
it's like an interesting affirmation almost, right? Yeah, like what's an affirmation that you want to hear every day that kind of gets your day started? I really like that.
Yeah, so you can think about what kind of messages do you want if you have a new habit and something that is you need just a trigger point. You need something that will remind you to do something. Email is probably the best because I'm doing the inbox zero kind of practice. So every day I'm trying to finish with 0 emails in my inbox. And it's not like I'm answering all these emails. I'm maybe I'm answering 20%. So I'm snoozing a lot of emails. I'm delegating a lot of emails. But so for me to get an email, it's I got to do something. So this is a part of my workflow. I cannot ignore it because I'm not ignoring emails. So I either delegate it or I snooze it. I cannot snooze it because I'm getting it every day. So the only thing is to click on this link. This is the only thing. So once you have a system, you need to hack your way to your system if you want to do new habits and you want to encourage yourself to be consistent with your new habits in a way. So this is why I'm using future self emails.
I love that.
together with Zapier.
I have at least 5 things I'm totally implementing today. So good. Yeah. I love it. These little hacks that make a big difference, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So
great.
That was Zapier. Cheryl was asking. Yeah, that was a Zapier tool.
Yeah, that was Zapier, and I can also share the recipe in this email. This uses outdated. What is not outdated?
Legacy.
it's legacy, so I need to change it. So yeah, I will change it, and then legacy. It's outdated, so probably Zapier has something new.
Right. Change to the trigger.
With the triggering time. Yeah, we'll look it up, and I will make sure to follow up with the recipe. But yeah, but I have a bunch of stuff here that sometimes it's on, something it's not. A bunch of stuff that I'm doing. So this is for Supertools. Also have my personal account. But yeah, so just look it up. Try to play with it. It should be intuitive at the beginning, and then you can only and then you can only just complex it with a bunch of
keep layering on. Absolutely.
Yeah. But the beginning should be pretty much intuitive. You can
it's like you're just
find some recipes.
Glue two apps together. Yeah. Gray had a great question, which I was curious about too. And the chain for your daily part, the way you connect the icons and the dashes to kind of summarize. I think it was in your weekly. Was it your daily or weekly report where you had? I think that's what you're referring to, Gray, right? Was the dashes. So he was curious kind of how you. The
dashes? Like the icons here? Or
like is there a formula or is that just copy paste? I wonder if that's.
Oh, this one.
Okay, that's probably what he was referring to.
The dashes. So it's a part of the template. So every time I'm adding a new week, I have the score already with the dash, like already with the different emojis. And it's also a part of this, you see. So the problem with presenting properties, that Notion will not present the name of the property, will present only the content inside. So if you want to add the emoji, you need to add it inside of a template, and then you need to put it as part of the content. Which the only downside of it. So if you want to use databases in order to sum up, like let's say, if I want to sum up all my or to have like an average yearly average of all my sleep score, I cannot do it because I have this emoji inside. So I think this is the only downside of doing it. I just thought about it, like maybe it's the only downside. But the way you do it, you just is this was the question? I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I think so. Sure. I don't think Gray is still here, but so the score is literally just pulling in whatever you put above. It's just like connecting the three. That's it.
Right? Oh yeah. So the score. Yeah. So let me show you the formula. So basically, it's like a very simple score. Just like join, and then
Perfect.
I just put here. So before you put here, everything that you want to have between these properties, like what you have inside of them. So then you have this one. It's just a way to have this presented. So if you change,
I love that.
Let's say,
you could even have language in there, right? Like today's score is, right? And you could kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So you say once you change it, so it will be like this. So you can play with it the way you want. You want things to be presented inside of a database or property, so you can really change it with formulas.
Yeah.
Forgot what I did there.
I think it was a long dash or M dash or something. That's awesome.
Yeah. Probably. It can be like this. Okay. It was a long dash. Yeah.
So great. Like Tommy, I always learn so much whenever I see your spaces, and I feel like seeing yours was what inspired me to go dark. I was like, yes, I love the look of this. Let's go. Amazing. So you shared so many incredible resources with us. So we'll have to add a call to action at the bottom so we can include the magical link. And should it be a meeting?
Absolutely.
And like you had so many awesome resources that we'll follow up.
That was so fun. I will make sure to also follow up with everyone that signed up or requested access to our integration with your calendar.
Awesome.
And it was super fun. Thank you everyone for all the questions.
So great. I'm just adding the link to the bottom here. So check out magical.so. Let's show that. Okay, cool. So there's a link at the bottom of this session. We'll add it to the YouTube video later. And again, any of those other links that were mentioned, we'll follow up with folks. But yeah, Tommy, thank you so much. I would love to even just bring you on my YouTube as well and dig deeper into some of these, like the daily planning that you're doing. Like there's so many little nuggets where we could go way deeper. And you've got so much intention behind your space, right? Like I can really see how you're using the tool to just get the most out of your life. And it's really inspiring.
Thank you so much, and really enjoyed the session. One thing about the link that you just sent, so because we're still a startup and we're trying to, in terms of the domain, so Magical is with a big I and not a big L currently.
Oh, okay.
After the seed round, I promise that we will buy the.
Okay, I'll update that.
It's just like a stupid hack that early startups, do. Or just me, I don't know. So soon enough, we'll buy the magical so the original domain. But currently, you need to use big I and not it's Magic Kai currently, which is like Magic AI in a way. This is how we frame it.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much.
Still negotiating the price of magical.
Secure that funding. Get those meetings in, right?
Thank you so much. Awesome. I really enjoyed this session.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.